The video begins with two men walking up to the Chase ATM off Logan Avenue South. It's still dark outside, just after 3 a.m. Saturday morning. The two start to deposit money when a man wearing a dark blue shirt walks up to them. According to Renton police, he believes the pair had stolen his car keys. He grabs the man on the right, demanding that he hand over the keys. The two start to struggle, and that's when you see a fourth man walk towards them. He's the man in the blue t-shirt's father, and he winds up being the victim in this case. Suddenly, the man on the left grabs his son's t-shirt, and the two of them start to struggle. His dad and the other man get into it, and then they walk off screen. Both pairs of men are now struggling and fighting in front of the ATM. You can't see her face, but at this point, a woman wearing a gray sweatshirt comes into frame. She's the victim's daughter and the man in the blue t-shirt's sister. A shot is fired and everyone scrambles. The woman in gray pulls out a gun and also fires a shot. In the chaos, the 54-year-old father was killed, but it's not clear which one of the shots is responsible for his death.
This is absolutely insane. This is bad decision making 101 if I've seen it. If you're out here, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the people in this were like trained concealed carriers or if they just dudes who out here wild west just holding guns. It is what it is. Whatever it is, generally people who are armed, if you're a concealed self-defender, you actually done things the right way. I just told somebody this today. The number 1 and 2 skill that you have to have is conflict avoidance and the ability to use verbal judo. Talk your way out of a situation. If you don't have, conflict avoidance and verbal judo, let me talk my way and de-escalate this situation, you are actually equally as dangerous, if not worse, than some random goon out here who has a firearm. So let's go ahead, break this down piece by piece. We're going to watch it one more time, take some pauses, break it down. But there was so many things done wrong here. I've taken concealed weapons classes, can't bring myself to license and carry. The incredible responsibility, no way without insurance. If you shoot someone, you're going to be tried. My biggest concern would be not criminal exposure, but civil liability. Like my biggest concern, if you're in a situation where you actually have to defend your life, the criminal aspect is less of a concern to me. I think I have enough knowledge, enough overall training and discipline to know when are the appropriate times to use of force. So I feel like in the criminal aspect, I feel relatively good about. The civil liability, you shoot somebody, a bullet bounce off the ground, hit a third party. Now you screwed. Or you shoot somebody, the guy doesn't die, and he just sues you. And even though he may lose, just fighting the lawsuit is going to cost money. So I definitely agree that you should have some concealed carry insurance, and it is not cheap. Now let's go ahead and watch this video. We're going to put this video up. We're going to do it this way so we can see the whole thing. We're going to run it back and take some pauses and talk about, the multitude of things that went wrong here. Some of the key concepts for self-defense claims was the person reasonably in fear or imminent serious harm, fear of their life or serious bodily harm, defense of property, defense of life, legal limits of using deadly force over property, provocation and escalation, how initiating a confrontation impacts self-defense rights. So again, we don't know who took the fatal shot, but let's just break this down.
Caught on camera tonight, it is brand new video of the moments leading up to a deadly shooting in Renton. There are a lot of people involved, and police even call it a complex investigation.
So to make things easier, we put a circle around the victim, and here's a closer look at what happened in that video. The video begins with two men walking up to...
All right. First and foremost, these two guys are doing absolutely nothing wrong. They're minding their business. They're at the ATM. It looks like they're making a withdrawal or deposit, whatever it is. I think it was a deposit. Nothing wrong. Now here, how do I use the ATM? I mean, I'm just going to be like, it's generally when I use an ATM, I have my head on the swivel. Generally, if I'm going to the ATM with someone else and they're using the ATM, I'm kind of looking out to just kind of see what's going on. So again, nothing wrong. They don't have any obligation to be like me, a combat veteran who has PTSD, always looking around. Nothing wrong with. I'm just talking about generally. I'm just talking about observations, just based on being a defense attorney, being an investigative attorney, being a prosecutor, being someone who has military training, being someone who has a lot of training and use of force as a civilian.
The Chase ATM off Logan Avenue South. It's still dark outside just after 3 a.m. Saturday morning. The two start to deposit money when a man wearing a dark blue shirt.
All right, this guy with the dark blue shirt is completely out of pocket. I don't know about you, but generally, nobody is walking up on my blind side of the ATM. I've actually been at an ATM or even been in a convenience store, and someone will get behind me in line. And if they get too close, actually, or if I feel them getting too close, when I turn and look at them, it actually gives them a signal like, oh, let me back up. Like most people will do that. So the fact that this guy approached is kind of wild. But let's take a look at everybody's posture. I don't think he approached in a threatening manner because they're turning around, they're having a conversation. So far, I don't see anything here that is an actual threat of itself. Nobody is giving any physiological indicators that some shit is about to go down. He's having a conversation. The other gentleman doesn't appear threatened. His hand is in his pocket. Everybody seems relaxed and at ease at this point. $3 a.m, yeah. It was one of those cameras that initiate. Come on, bro. Get out of here with the crazy stuff. Should have known it was going to come from the opposite side. I'm going to make sure you get banned. All right. But so, yeah. So far, so good. Let's see where things go left. But I do agree that this guy probably should not have approached them to have that conversation. If I was approaching them having a conversation, I would probably be, you see where that line in the concrete is? Right here. See where the word deadly shooting is? Right over the H. That's about where you generally, if you're cognizant of what's going on, would probably stop to initiate a conversation. He got a little too close for me, but nobody appears to have a posture that's showing anything threatening.
Walks up to them. According to Renton police,
All right, see? Right here. Now, when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You can't initiate something, and then when people don't react how you expect them to react, you want to cry foul. It just doesn't work that way. He thought that this gentleman had his car keys or took his car keys, and after going from calm talking, he literally grabs this dude. This is actually an assault or battery in most states, unlawful contact of another in a harmful or offensive manner. This is actually an assault. Does it justify deadly use of force? No, it does not. He can use equal force. So had he punched that guy in his snout box, that would have probably been completely legit.
Police, he believes the pair had stolen his car keys.
Now, he thinks this guy stolen his car keys. The guy, again, I agreed. I'm always concerned at the ATM. While they weren't doing anything wrong, 3 a.m., the whole key thing might have been a distraction. I agree. You can't violate 2 rules of stupid. You can violate 1 rule of stupid and you'll probably be okay. But you can't go stupid places at stupid times doing stupid things with stupid people. If you violate 1, that's fine. If you violate 2 or more, it's probably going to end up in a problem. Now, this man grabs him. He clearly assaulted him. It doesn't justify deadly force. But he thinks that he has his keys. Now, I'm just being objective. I'm looking at this from both point of views. If I'm the gentleman at the ATM machine who got assaulted, this guy appears to be trying to go into his pockets. If I have a gun on me, I don't know if you're trying to go into my pockets or if you're trying to go into my waistband and take my firearm. His school of thought can be anywhere on that spectrum. Honestly, to me, it looks like he pulled back trying to protect his firearm. Because if you got a firearm on you, if somebody tried to assault you, you're going to try to protect that firearm at all costs. Because generally, not all the time, but there is typically an argument if you have a firearm, someone engages you in assault. At that moment in time, it could be considered a fight for your life, because if the person gets your firearm, it's a chance that they're going to use it. So let's rewind it back real quick. He reaches for his pocket, but this guy goes into a posture if he's trying to protect his firearm. It looks like, according to this video and how his body movement is, I'm assuming he has appendix carry. So he got his gun in the front because he looks like he's guarding on the front around his abdomen. But I don't know, this gentleman right here who's using the ATM, he doesn't know, and I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Is he trying to just go in my pocket to tap me down and see if I got the keys? Or is he trying to like actually grab my firearm or reach to see if I have a firearm? He legit doesn't know.
He believes the pair had stolen his car keys. He grabs the man on the right, demanding that he hand over the keys. The two start to struggle, and that's when you see a fourth man walk towards them. He's the man in the blue t-shirt.
The fourth guy coming up, I mean, so far, no punches have been thrown. That's actually amazing that the guy who got assaulted initially did not throw any punches, because if you grab me like that, a reaction is a reaction. You know what I mean? So shout out to him for not escalating the situation right here. Here, just objectively, the aggressors are clearly the two men who approached. The gentleman who's tapping people down and physically assaulting people, the guy who came up. If you come up and your man is assaulting people, I'm going to naturally assume you coming up to engage in an assault too. What other reason are you coming up? That's just me. I think that's a fair assumption.
His father, and he winds up being the victim in this case. Suddenly, the man on the left grabs.
All right, so now they both engaging in assaults. The two guys at the ATM, they didn't do anything in this picture. They're trying to protect themselves, maybe guard from their firearm getting taken. Now you got a father and son who clearly are old enough to know better, engaging in some tomfoolery and some buffoonery right here. And it's going to lead to this gentleman in this circle being deleted.
His son's t-shirt, and the two of them start to struggle. His dad and the other man get into it, and then they walk off screen.
Now, right here, again, the person at the bottom of the screen, it still looks like he's in a defensive posture, just trying not to either get what's in his pockets taken, or if he is a person who has a firearm, but he's not going on any offensive. Up here, we can't see what's going on up here, but let's take a look at the position of their feet. The gentleman at the ATM, his feet is in the white. That's actually a terrible stance. He has no leverage because his feet is pretty much damn near touching each other. The gentleman on the back, so this posture right here, I can't see what's happening, but I'm assuming the gentleman in the front is probably standing and he's still trying to probably cover up that appendix area, because I'm assuming he's doing the appendix carry because he's given that posture of always defending that appendix area. The gentleman around him appears from his feet position to be potentially, you know how somebody have something and you're like, give it to me. You got your arms wrapped around them as if you're trying to bear hug them and grab it out of their hands or something like that. This is what the foot posture is given, even though we can't really see it. Real quick, let's take a look at this comment. Entire situation highly escalated because the place ATM, 3 a.m., and because of the guns. I don't disagree with you. It's interesting to see were the guns legit guns or not. But so far, the two guys at the ATM actually haven't done anything. They haven't even, in my opinion, done anything to escalate the situation at this point.
Both pairs of men are now struggling and fighting in front of the ATM.
Okay, now this is fucking weird to me. They're fighting. This guy still appears to be in some type of bear hug. His feet, he just butt to gut over here. His feet pointing this way. This guy's clearly behind him. Now, this guy who initiated it is clearly throwing hands. Now we got a woman coming into the scene. Women, y'all are supposed to be the voice of reason, not the voice of adding to the buffoonery that's going on. But now this guy's throwing punches. These two gentlemen at the ATM have no clue how far these guys are willing to escalate it. We can see his hand, so it's clear to see that maybe this guy does not have a firearm. So threat of severe bodily harm, he's throwing punches and I ain't throw shit. Possibly there to justify a physical altercation. Nothing there to justify a use of deadly force just yet.
You can't see her face, but at this point, a woman wearing a gray sweatshirt comes into frame.
Now, real quick, keep your eye. I literally just did this shit yesterday. Keep your eye on a woman wearing a gray sweatsuit. She comes up. She has an interesting posture because she comes up to the scene. Normally, when people come up to a scene like that, they aren't going to just have their hands in their pockets. If their hands in their pockets, it's there for a reason. Normally, when people come up to a scene, they either come in to join in the fisticuffs, or they're coming in and they're like, yo, y'all calm down. And this is a normal posture of people trying to calm shit down because they're probably yelling and all sorts of shit. So just objectively, as I'm viewing this, her having her hands in the pocket as she approaches is actually kind of odd. The people at top, completely off. Now, this guy who was just throwing fist hits, just throwing punches, this is fucking weird to me. So let's take a look at this real quick. I want y'all to see something. I thought this was odd. He's clearly throwing punches here.
In front of the ATM.
Looks like he or either this other guy dropped some shit.
You can't see her face.
They still bear hugging up here. Look at their feet. Now she's in, and you can't see her hands.
But at this point, a woman wearing a gray sweatshirt comes into frame. She's the victim's daughter, and the man in the blue t-shirt.
I don't know what the fuck is going on here. He threw punches at the guy. He assaulted both of these guys, and now he's picking up the phone and trying to hand it back. So clearly no threat. Now, the issue is going on off camera. We have no clue what's going on here. But here is clearly no threat. At this point, I would even say the threat is kind of gone. This guy went from throwing punches. He probably missed everything because he looked like he was just throwing some bullshit. But he actually taking a friendly posture. He's handing them his belongings.
Shirt's sister. A shot is fired and everyone.
Now the shot is fired up here. We don't know who was responsible for firing the shot. I'm assuming from looking at this video, her firearm isn't out. This guy, the initial assaulter, has no firearm. We really can't see what's going on in this third guy, but he didn't throw a punch after getting assaulted, getting punched on, and now the guy handing him his phone back. So I'd be shocked if the firearm came from the gentleman at the bottom of the screen. I think it clearly came up here, and we have no video footage to see what was going on.
Unscrambles. The woman in gray pulls.
Now take a look at the woman in gray. Where did she pull her firearm from? She pulled it from exactly where the fuck her hand was at, which was obvious. No one approaches. When your people is in a fight, you either go in and you're fighting with them, or you're going there trying to break it up. And when you're trying to break it up, this is the normal posture. Yo, y'all calm down because you're grabbing people. You normally want both hands to be able to manipulate the environment, the situation. Her having her hands in her was a huge red flag.
And everyone scrambles. The woman.
She pulls the gun out. So she sees the father shot. She pulls the gun out.
And gray pulls out a gun and also fires a shot. In the chaos, the 54-year-old father was killed, but it's not clear which one of the shots is responsible for his death. And here's.
Now this is just an absolutely insane story. I'm actually gonna leave this up. I'm gonna small box it real quick. Let's small box it because I want to talk real quick about who has a great argument here. Now, just initially, as I see this with just the facts we have before me, let's assume the shot came from the top of the screen, because I'm thinking that's where the shot came from, because she pulled out her firearm after the shot was already off. I don't think it was these two people at the bottom. I think the shot came from the top of the screen. Who doesn't have a self-defense argument, I think, is this woman right here. This woman right here, if I'm a prosecutor and I'm just looking at this, just off the facts, there may be more evidence out there that I don't know, but just off the fact that I have, she should be completely charged with possession of a firearm, if it's hers, or unauthorized use of a firearm. She should get some type of charge, because to me, as I see this, she is with the people who created the dangerous situation. She is with the people who were the aggressors. I started this video out by saying that when you fire a firearm, you don't get the benefit of making a mistake. That guy, when we saw these two guys up there with their feet all intertwined, it was a weird ass footing position. But the guy who we assume took the shot, we're just making an assumption here. We don't know if this is the case, but the guy we assume who took the shot, he has a legit argument that he was actually trying to defend himself. I had a firearm on me. I was trying to turn my back. This guy was clearly behind him in some maybe bear hug, grabbing type of posture, because we could identify that from how their feet were. Let's see. Let's go back to how their feet were. That footing position, this guy's clearly behind this individual. I doubt if he's punching them like that. I think from what we saw initially, he's probably still trying to protect that abdomen area where I believe he's carrying his firearm just based on his body posture. So this young woman over here who decides that she wants to pull out a firearm, you do not get the benefit of the doubt if the person who was in your party was the aggressor. So I think she's screwed, rightfully so, just based on this. Again, assault for the guy down here. This guy, he was probably the only guy who I probably wouldn't charge with anything. But Mr. I'm going to throw punches and then hand you your phone, he's definitely catching some charges. He's definitely an aggressor. They are outnumbered. I'm just going to say, I don't care if it is a woman. The woman got a damn blick on her. So they are outnumbered. I think that the gentleman up here, if we're making an assumption that he was the one who fired the fatal shot, we don't know. We're just making an assumption. I'm not saying he did it. We're just saying, let's say he was the one who fired the fatal shot. I think he actually has a much stronger self-defense argument. They're outnumbered. He's not the aggressor. He doesn't appear to be throwing punches. When he had opportunities to throw punches and use equal force to stop the assault, he didn't do so. He took a posture as if he was trying to defend or guard his firearm because he knew he had that firearm. I don't know what was going on up here, but the argument or the story that's being made is, hey, these guys approached us. They were talking about keys. We didn't know. People approach all the time. Hey, man, you got a cigarette I could borrow? And they'll rob your ass. He really legitly doesn't know if this is a legit thing. They think they have the keys, or is this just a ploy or a distraction to try to catch us with our pants down to try to rob us? They're outnumbered. This lady approaches. This lady has her hand in her pockets. I look over. My man is getting swung on. I'm outnumbered. This guy is grabbing me. He's trying to go for my gun. I'm thinking he's trying to go for my gun. Why is he trying to go for my gun? To use it against me? It's either him or me. I think he has a valid self-defense argument here that actually makes sense. But this is actually a crazy ass story, in my opinion. Yeah, the girl was with, I don't know, because they didn't make it out. It appeared, and let's go back and see if they delineate. Because from the story, let's see. Because I'm assuming, and this is just me, I'm assuming the girl is with the people who approached. The only reason why I'm saying that is because, think about it. The gentleman in the yellow circle, let's call them the aggressors because they are the aggressors. That's a fact. I'm assuming she's with the aggressors because she didn't pull her firearm out until the shot was discharged and this gentleman in the yellow circle actually hit the pavement. So I'm thinking, I'm making an assumption here because I don't have all the facts. I'm thinking that she pulled out her firearm because the shot was discharged. If she was with this guy who didn't get shot, she wouldn't be pulling her firearm to dislodge a shot to shoot her man. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I came up here with these people, a shot go off and this guy dropped, why am I pulling the firearm out if this guy got shot to try to shoot at my man? It makes no sense unless he's just shooting at everybody, which is goofy. But let's run this story back one more time. But I'm thinking she's with the aggressors just from the body posture and what we heard them say. Let's run this story back one more time because it's crazy as hell.
The video begins with two men walking up to the Chase ATM off Logan Avenue South. It's still dark outside, just after 3 a.m. Saturday morning. The two start to deposit money when a man wearing a dark blue shirt walks up to them. According to Renton police, he believes the pair had stolen his car keys. He grabs the man on the right, demanding that he hand over the keys. The two start to struggle, and that's when you see a fourth man walk towards them. He's the man in the blue t-shirt's father, and he winds up being the victim in this case. Suddenly, the man on the left grabs his son's t-shirt, and the two of them start to struggle. His dad and the other man get into it, and then they walk off screen. Both pairs of men are now struggling and fighting in front of the ATM. You can't see her face, but at this point, a woman wearing a gray sweatshirt comes into frame. She's the victim's daughter, and the...
Exactly, the victim's daughter. Clearly, she shot because she saw her father down. That's just what it was. So she came up there with the aggressors. And this the craziest part of all of this is this man's idiocracy, stupidity, hothead ended up getting his father deleted. But for him approaching, but for him swinging, none of this shit probably would have happened. So this dude got his father deleted, and his sister probably will be going into custody along with him. His sister actually probably be going into custody for much longer. But yeah, she was with the aggressors.
Man in the blue t-shirt's sister. A shot is fired and everyone scrambles. The woman in gray pulls out a gun and also fires a shot. In the chaos, the 54-year-old father was killed, but it's not clear which one of the shots is responsible for his death.
Now, I don't know. I would like to know where the father was. If they aren't sure which shot was responsible for the father's death, it's going to be interesting. Because it could have been father was shot and he hit the pavement and she pulled out a gun. But then I think we would be unequivocally know which shot was responsible for the death. So what likely happened was they were probably up there tussling. A shot went off while they were in close proximity in the tussle. Dad was still standing up. She pulls out, shoots the firearm while dad is still standing up. That's the only way I can see a scenario where we don't know who fired the fatal shot. Because dad was shot. He was upright. They were standing. She saw her father get shot. She returns fire, and we don't know. Dad is on the pavement now, but we don't know who or what person was responsible for the fatal shot. But this story is actually fucking insane and actually crazy. This is actually crazy. So honestly, the whole thing looked like a setup, a distraction, a setup, a perfect robbery. I don't disagree with you. Like, that used to be the thing back in the day. Hey, man, you got a jack? You'd be like, a jack is a cigarette. Like, nah, I don't smoke. And then next thing you know, somebody's trying to rob you. So I agree. I think that the gentleman at the ATM in very favorable positions, if he can articulate, hey, we were outnumbered, I have a firearm on me, and they were accosting us. He was punching on my friend over there. I thought he was trying to take my firearm. I see a third woman get out of the car who's clearly with him, and she's not trying to defuse the situation, but she has her hand in the pocket. I don't want to get right now is life or death. It's me or him. If I don't get my firearm out of this pocket, she might go and pull out because she got something. And I mean, like, based on this, I think they got a great argument. I do think it's giving sketch. Like, I don't know, you got my keys, bruh. That sound like cap to me. It do sound like, hey, I agree with you 100%, Chloe. It's giving setup and we trying to rob you in the robbery side of the game. Oh, she was wrong that if she was on the side of the robbers, she had no argument for protection. You can't create the situation and then want to argue I'm defending myself when you were the aggressor. That's just not how it works. Just a ridiculous, literally, real talk, this hothead, because of this situation, this dude lost his father and his sister is going to go to prison. All because of this harebrained scheme. Like, I'm agreeing with you. Like, I don't think it was about keys. It's giving robbery to me. I've seen a lot of finesse. Actually, I've been the victim of a robbery or two, and if someone isn't doing it right, I will correct you mid-robbery. Like, bro, first of all, you too close with the gun. I got some stories, but I'm not going to tell them on this platform. Not right now, at least. Maybe members-only video. But I think this is an actual crazy story. Like I said, the key takeaways here, was self-defense. Was the person in reasonable fear of severe bodily harm or death? I think the answer is yes. If we're talking about the side of the persons who are using the ATM minding their business, defense of property or defense of life, you can't use deadly force to defend your property, and it just doesn't happen. Oh, someone's stealing the TV and they're in my yard. Shoot them in the ass because they got the TV in the hand. Like, no, you can't defend property. Now, you can approach someone who's to defend your property, and then if a use of force, your fear of your life or severe bodily harm escalates from you approaching them over that theft of property or issue of property, defending your property, then there's a different ball game. But you can't use deadly force to defend property, and you can't create a situation as the aggressor and think that you're going to get the benefit of the doubt. That's just not how the justice system works. But I agree. I think it was a robbery. Hey, shout out to you all for using your investigative skills on this one. This was actually a crazy ass story. I may cut that one out and just do that story separately as its own video tomorrow. But yeah, crazy. I think, again, it was a robbery. I think everybody should go to jail. Everybody should get charges, with the exception of the two people who were at the ATM machine. In that video, I don't see anything wrong. Even if that guy fired the shot that ultimately deleted the guy in the blue shirt's father, I think he has a great self-defense argument. Like, I think his attorneys are in a great position. Nothing good here, but just imagine how awful it'll all turn out if it's the daughter's gun who shot the deadly bullet. Wow. I didn't even think about that. That'd be crazy. So real talk, like, your father isn't here because of stupid behavior by both of his children. That's crazy. The thing that take you out is the thing you brought into this. The person that take you out is the person you brought into the world is absolutely crazy. Like, honestly, like, if I were like mom, I don't know where mom is at, but if I'm watching this video and I'm mom, I'm like, your father isn't here because of y'all stupid ass behavior. Literally. But it's definitely giving robbery. 100%. Yo, that's it for this video. It's late as hell, and I definitely need to take this suit off. Yeah. There you go. All right, shit. There you go. It's 11:30 at night. There you go. Before we go out, I'm gonna go ahead, undo the tie, because I always get into business. Hey, this is my friend of me right here. I'll undo the tie. That's it for this video. Everybody get charged except the gentlemen who are at the ATM machine. I think they were in the right. I think they weren't the aggressors. I think that the gentleman who we perceive fired the shot was 100% in the clear on the self-defense side of the game. Yeah. You be having a conversation at the penalty. Yeah, because that's the only way they're going to have that conversation. Everybody else, one guy's dead. The other two are going to be in prison. And it's all because of stupidity or a terrible attempt at a robbery. Leave people the fuck alone. Leave people alone. So many things can be avoided if you leave people alone. You don't know who got that goddamn it on them. And if it's my life or your life, I'm going to use it. I got to be here. I got a better reason to live than you. I don't care what your situation is. I got to be here. So that's just kind of my approach. Y'all have a good one. Y'all be safe. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. I'll holler at y'all Friday. I think I'm going to have another attorney on Friday. I might. I got to see because I think they were on vacation. But we're going to tune in Friday. We're going to have some more topics. Y'all have a good one. Be blessed. Oh, yeah, the Donna Ailson trial. I'm going to have to go check out AA Legal Focus channel because that's going to be interesting. Facts, 100%. I haven't done the sound effect or video, but I'm going to give you don't do stupid things at stupid times with stupid people at stupid places. Y'all be blessed. Peace.